What is going on, guys? It's Devontae back with another video. By the time you're watching this, it's already the new year. This is my no buy list for 2025, meaning I will not be purchasing these things. These are things that I have personally had habits and behaviors for purchasing in the past, and moving forward, I've already been not doing it, but moving forward into 2025, we're not going to carry it. We're going to stay persistent with not making these purchases. For number one, I am no longer ordering food from food delivery apps like Uber Eats, DoorDash, not to name drop them, but who gives a damn? I'm not spending my money on it because it's just not worth it. I am not somebody that likes to go out and be amongst the general public. I speak to a lot of people daily who feel the same way. Think about the opportunity cost of that. Every time that you spend that, let's say you do that 3 times a week, that is now, let's round it up to about $40. That's $120 a week. That's $500 a month. That's $6,000 almost a year that you're putting into food that you don't think about because it goes to a credit card, or it goes, maybe you have leftover funds and you just think, I don't have any money to save or invest. You do, because that meal costs half as much if you just take your lazy ass to the fucking restaurant or drive through or whatever the case may be. So that's number one. The second one is upgrading tech. I have had this phone for quite some time now, and I don't plan on changing it. My camera works just fine. I actually have two. I have another one that's the Osmo Pocket, I think it's called, and this one is the Sony ZV-1, whatever the fuck. My laptops work fine. I have one for school, one for recreational use, and yeah, like I just don't need any more tech. And anybody under the impression that you do is insane. If you play games, I completely understand. I've been eyeing a Steam Deck for the longest time, and I just don't want to pull the trigger on it yet. But you just don't need upgraded tech. Think about it. Like, do you need to upgrade that PC? Think about it. And if that's your forte and that's what makes you happy, ultimately that's your decision to make. Moving into 2025, will not be upgrading any tech, and maybe 2026 we'll see some new things. Ordering drinks while I'm out, like, and by drinks I mean obviously alcoholic beverages. So I do partake, and for those who don't, congratulations. Um, but I do, and it's just anybody who orders drinks knows that it's just so much more expensive if you do it in public versus having a drink at home. And you're already home. You don't have to drive. You don't have to get in an Uber and pay for an Uber, which is another cost, or potentially ask somebody else to come get you and have to spot them for gas or anything stupid like that. So just having a drink at home, like, and you don't get smashed, obviously, so it lasts a lot longer. Whereas when you go out with friends, you're probably a little bit more compelled to drink more. And on top of that, if you drink at home, not only is it cheaper, nobody has to drive that night. You know, if it's people that you actually know. It's something that adds up. It's one of those sneaky purchases, those purchases that you make enough of throughout the year, and it becomes a lump sum at the end that, once again, I hate to sound like this, like I'm a fucking investing guru, but it's just true. You could have saved, paid off debt, or invested it, and it's just not worth it. And they have a fucking tip option, and I don't know. I don't think it, and I've worked in a bar for a day. I don't think unless you're making a cocktail, you should get a tip. If you're fucking pouring beer, that's whatever. Okay, whatever. Moving on to the next one. Clothes. I like clothes. I like fashion, but I have spent the last about 3 years-ish not really purchasing clothing because it was a crippling expense and habit to constantly shop. And all that money that I spent on clothes that I no longer have. I am somebody that would resell something, put it on eBay, put it on Depop, put it on these different sites to get rid of it, or I'll just donate it. And I'm like that now. Even like there's some things I just don't wear. So I think about all that money that I've sunk into clothing, and it just doesn't matter. You just need 2 to 5 of everything, not including undergarments. But if you have 2 to 5 jackets, and honestly that can be a lot less. But if you have 2 to 5 jackets, 2 to 5 button downs, 2 to 5 pairs of shoes, 2 to 5 pants, and like 2 to 5 jeans, you know what I mean? And like you rotate. And then maybe 2 to 5 new t-shirts that are all muted colors. You don't need that much. Sweaters even, 2 to 5. You can lower that number from like 2 to 5 to like 3. If you get 3 of everything, that's all you need for a while. Unless you're somebody that is highly visible, like you go out a lot and you're a socialite and you just have to be out and that's a part of your job. Completely different scenario. I'm talking about regular fucking people here. You just don't need that much shit. It's too much shit. It's too much money you're spending on shit, and you're gonna want to get rid of it. If you're like me, you get manic one day and you just want to get rid of everything. So just don't fucking buy it. Like, you just don't need it. You only need 2 to 3 pieces of everything, not including undergarments, because there's gonna be somebody that fucking comments that. Last but not least is impulse purchases, like treats. So like, oh, I did a thing and I accomplished a thing. It was like a micro goal, and now I'm gonna treat myself. I don't say that to say that it's really a no buy. What I say that to say is you need to regulate it. So like, I think that, for instance, for me, I'm buying watches. This is an Apple Watch that I've always had, but I bought a new watch recently. Check out that video, it'll be somewhere here. But it's for milestones. So that milestone was reaching 10K invested, and the next one will be at 20. I don't think that you need to treat yourself for every goal you hit. And if you do, don't let it be something expensive, is kind of what I mean. So don't get milestone pieces for micro victories. Give milestone pieces, milestone rewards for milestone victories. Be careful of the purchases where you're treating yourself for doing something, because you will start to justify purchases you don't need to justify. Point of my no buy is to not purchase things so I have more money to save, invest, and ultimately pay off debt. I'm doing it in opposite fashion than what is recommended because of reasons I've already discussed in other videos. It might be here. And yeah, that's pretty much my no buy list. Let me know yours in the comments below. What are you planning on not buying in 2025? Or what have you already been not buying? Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle. Be patient. But hold yourself accountable. Take care.